These are not three separate devices. This is one device.
Apple does not need an introduction. If you are not familiar with this tech giant, that would certainly be a surprise. Apple is obviously one of the biggest names in global tech right now, but they made their debut with path-breaking graphics interfaces. And obviously, you can't possibly have forgotten about the iPod. Everyone back in the day was walking around with one. But hang on, Apple isn't only about tech anymore. Let's find out why. So basically, yes, I think we've established beyond a reasonable doubt that Apple holds an irreplaceable position in many spheres of the technological advancement we see today. If you've been keeping up with the news, you might have noticed a shift in the pattern. Apple has largely made its foray into more software and service-oriented production. It's almost as if computer technology is not their only focal point anymore. And now they have actually made their first successful announcement to firmly establish their new ventures as part of their magnanimous brand. Frankly, sure, Apple does launch the newest versions of their products every now and then, but this is probably their greatest announcement in recent times. The iPhone once stirred up the whole tech community when it was released, and now Apple has done it again. Tech YouTubers are extremely excited over this, as you've probably already guessed. Okay, that is just a personal opinion, but you keep watching this video because there's a huge possibility that you might be on the same page about this. Apple has just announced their own self-driving car. The big news has certainly blown all of our minds. Of course, we don't know every nitty-gritty about it yet, but let's just say there is plenty that we can figure out for sure already. For example, you can almost be certain that the car's technology will be entirely in-house, meaning that Apple will themselves be developing the chip that will be the car's artificial brain. In fact, going by what we can assume this far, Apple will probably be roping in the same chip makers that do the job for their iPhones and Macs. It will be the trusted TSMC that will be in on this. But at the same time, there are apparently talks of partnering with some other big names in the industry too. For example, there was a rumor that Apple might be joining hands with Hyundai Kia and Keto Motors for the design and etc. of the automobile that they're about to release. But that apparently didn't actually happen, so there really is no concrete news about that yet. But Apple definitely isn't considering teaming up with any external specialists in the field. It really does look like this entire thing is going to be a very exclusive Apple venture. And why wouldn't they? Apple already has its own impeccable technology in place. Their AI is already developed enough for their self-driving car to literally be entirely self-sufficient. In fact, ever since mastermind John Giandra joined the team, you can rest assured that there will be absolutely nothing that Apple might have to depend on any other additional company for. Instead of focusing on what their competitors focus on, Apple's approach to electronic vehicles is very different from that, say, of Tesla or Waymo. These companies are almost entirely dedicated to software and service. Of course, it's not like that's a problem. At the same time, it is certainly interesting to see how Apple is really approaching EV production by playing to their strengths instead of flowing with the giants of the market. So say we take these very companies, for example, you'll notice how they have a lot more emphasis on the software that they put into their cars. However, Apple big shots have already confirmed that they will not be moving from their firm positioning in terms of specialty. They will continue to pay attention to their brand of hardware and software and the magic checker where these two elements of a piece of tech coincide to make this sciencey magic happen. Apple announced that this is going to be termed Project Titan, and it all started when in early 2015 a mysterious van appeared close to the Apple headquarters in Northern California. Many tech enthusiasts assumed that this black van with a strange technological fixture had something to do with a soon-to-come announcement about exploring the automobile industry. However, at the time, Apple clarified that it really was only about perfecting their maps and navigation. Clearly, though, the speculators weren't very far off the mark. Eventually, we got to know that around that same time that this was happening, Apple already had experts hard at work in development of their self-driving car. In fact, Apple actually officially came up with the idea of Project Titan a really long time ago, all the way back in 2014. The tiny clue about navigation really got enthusiasts very fired up, and genuinely, it doesn't seem like Apple will disappoint point. I mean, they have never actually done that yet. It is only in 2016 that Apple's former vice president, Steve Zadesky, announced that he is leaving the project. Soon after, Apple executive Bob Mansfield came out of his retirement to head this project. This was followed by CEO Tim Cook himself making official announcements introducing Project Titan to the world in 2017. Of course, things have been out in the open ever since. In fact, remember the mysterious van that we talked about a moment ago? Yeah, so a bunch of them have been spotted all over the world. Evidently, the purpose is to gather much information necessary for the effective automation of the vehicles under process. Business or social science majors can think of this as field work. In the last 2 years, COVID turned the whole world upside down. Tech giants like Apple also felt the brunt of it, unfortunate as that sounds. But now it is clear that they are on a very speedy path to developing and launching this venture that they have been working on for years. Instead of focusing on an electric car with superior speed and agility, Apple has made up its mind on turning its self-driving car into a feat of AI skill, where the focus lies on the automated nature of the car's functioning. Instead of following in Tesla's footsteps and building upon the self-driving nature over time, Apple is going for a decidedly and completely self-driving car right from the get-go, which is pretty amazing, honestly. It's like they are impatient and making a mark is a quick necessity for them. And we love this kind of motivation, don't we? So personally, are you a Tesla person or an Apple person? Do let us know in the comments which of these approaches you prefer. Now, ever since the news about this hit the stands, Apple's stock prices have been showing a considerable improvement. I think it would be safe to assume that Project Titan could be a huge deal, not just for the tech enthusiasts, but for the company itself. Think about it. Self-driving cars are all the rage right now. The biggest firms around the world are trying to find their way into the automated vehicle industry. And it's not like Apple is just going to pull their signature products from the market, so it's all just growth from here on out. Isn't that really awesome? Well, that will be all for today's video, but don't forget to like, comment, and share it with those who are quick to get excited over tech-related news. Oh, and if this video seems exactly like your cup of tea, you are always welcome to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Farewell for now, and I'll be seeing you in the next video.